Wednesday, Melrose Mountain, Tryon, North Carolina. Smart investors. You've probably heard all of the stories about those that had invested years and years and years ago in McDonald's and how they'd be multimillionaires now. But I thought I'd take something a little easier and say that if you had bought $10,000 worth of Templeton World Fund 30 years ago, today it would be worth over $1 million. That's just 30-year investment. The Bible has a lot to say about investing. In Genesis chapter 41, Joseph had a plan for Pharaoh. He had seen his dream. He understood the dream, 7 fat years and 7 lean years by the calves. Told the Pharaoh to put away that money and those crops from the 7 fat years so they'd be able to make it through the lean years. A lot of wisdom in that. In Matthew 25, verses 14 through 30, there's the parable of the talents. The one that was given 5 talents, who immediately invested and brought back 10. The one that was given 2 talents, gained 2 more and brought back 4. And the one that was given 1 talent, who did nothing but bury it and brought back only the original 1. To the first 2, Jesus said, "Well done, my good and faithful servants. Enter into the joy of your master." You see, he saw the value of investing wisely and bringing back a good return. So let's take a look at some truths. 4 truths, as a matter of fact. Well, make it 5. There's nothing wrong with prosperity. Abraham and Solomon were very rich. They used it for God, and they prospered. Truth number 2, from Proverbs 11:24 through 25. He who scatters will increase. The generous will prosper. Proverbs 19:17. Those that are gracious to the poor are like lending to the Lord. However, you got to remember to temper that with Proverbs 21:20. The wise has precious treasures of oil in his household, and the foolish swallows it up. Truth number 3. Jesus has several warnings about wealth and investing. He says, first of all, in Matthew 6:24, you can't serve 2 masters. Gain and material wealth and investing can't be all that there is to life. Luke 16:19 tells the story of Lazarus, who laid at the rich man's feet, at his doorstep rather, and suffered great suffering. But when they both died, one went to a place below called hell. The other one went to a place called heaven. That's Lazarus, the poor man that went there. And the rich man was reminded how he had an opportunity to help Lazarus. He also warned in chapter 19 of Matthew, in verses 16 through 22, about the rich young ruler who came to Jesus and said, "What must I do to inherit eternal life?" And you remember he was told to sell everything. And he went away sorrowfully. Never knew exactly how that story ends because Jesus doesn't reveal it to us. But it sounds like he wound up missing out on the best because his wealth was too important to him. Truth number 4, found in Philippians 4, verses 11 through 13. It's Paul who says, "I've learned to be content with whatever I have." Paul quickly admitted that he had had prosperous times and he had very poor times, but he had learned to be content no matter what his times because he was trusting in the Lord. And finally, truth number 5 tells us to, in Matthew chapter 6, verses 19 through 21, to lay up treasures for ourselves in heaven where neither moth or rust can corrupt or corrode. Reminds me of the story that was told a number of years ago by George Truett. George Truett was having dinner with a very wealthy Texan. The Texan pointed out oil wells and he said, "Those are all mine." He pointed out his grain fields and he said, "Those are all mine." He pointed out his cattle barns and he said, "All mine." He pointed out to the woodlands and he said, "It's all mine." He was waiting for Truett to compliment him on his great investment and great wealth. However, Truett pointed him towards heaven and he said, "What do you have up there? What are your holdings in heaven?" You see, all of us need to remember to invest wisely. Nothing wrong with prosperity. We need wisdom and we have prosperity. But we also need to remember to lay up treasures for ourselves in heaven. the ones that nothing can take away. That's your thought for the day. God bless you and have a great day.